lots going on this week with summer coming into its second month and really unusual shows in Vancouver during the summer, including site-specific works. One of them this week is called Salmon Row. It's being performed at the Britannia Heritage Shipping Yards in Richmond. And it's a really interesting production that takes place right where the history that it tells actually happened. In that area between the late 1800s and World War II, there were a number of different ethnic groups working in the salmon industry. It was just huge. So you found a lot of the Japanese and Aboriginal people doing the fishing. Then a lot of Chinese people and a lot of the women, Japanese women, working in the canneries. And so there was this whole system of communities that lived down there in this beautiful site made up of old buildings and so on. So Salmon Row tells a whole bunch of sort of interwoven narratives about that history on that site. And it's a really good excuse to get out on a nice summer day and look at this area that a lot of Vancouverites probably don't even know is there. It's a beautiful site to explore, and it's a really unusual theater work that is being put on by Mortal Coil Performance Society. So if you've never checked it out, go ahead and find out a little bit about the complex history that surrounds the salmon industry and how it was affected by things like the Japanese internment and racial restrictions against Chinese and Japanese people about where they could live during those times and how they were discriminated against, and just lots of political issues that are still relevant today. So that's definitely one worth checking out. Another show that we've written about this week in the Strait is one out at the Museum of Anthropology out at UBC, another gorgeous site to visit on a summer day with its big windows and its incredible dramatic setting out on the point there on the ocean. And the show they have there now is called Paradise Lost with a question mark. And it's all about art from the South Pacific, but it's not the kind of art that you're probably imagining when you hear that. Instead of sort of tiki kitsch or some of that sort of paradisical imagery we associate with painters like Paul Gauguin. This is contemporary art by the people that live there, the Maori, the Samoans, and many other groups that live there. And their media is very unexpected. Some of them are carving into plexiglass. Others are using fabric and even T-shirts to get their messages out. Again, the work can be very political. It's about identity and the politics of living in that area. We, in our article this week, talked to George Nuku, one of the artists who is out there carving right now some plexiglass with masks and self-portraits. We also talked to another who worked in fabric. So it's going to be a huge exhibit out there, and it runs from now until September 29th. So you have lots of time to go check it out. And they've also had another very successful exhibit out there called Sapphire Voyage. So if you're lucky, you might be able to combine the two. That one was of Middle Eastern art. So there's two outings you can take this week. You could either head out to UBC in the beautiful museum, or you can head out to Richmond and check out the Britannia shipyards if you've never seen them, and find out a whole lot about the complex history of immigration to Canada.